Welcome, Steve. So good to see you again. I know when you came last time, it was the start of the big boom here in Silicon Valley with crypto and blockchain, and I'm totally delighted for everyone in the domain. And I'm wondering what's happening at Bloq now?
All sites a lot of exciting things are happening at Bloq. So on the enterprise side of things, we've got a couple of new customers with Bloq Enterprise that are taking this, behind their firewall, starting to put some applications on top of the stack, and that's really exciting. But I'm really getting excited by Bloq Labs, which is the side where innovation's happening. We're going to be launching a new foundational cryptocurrency called Metronome.
What's that going to do?
So Metronome is not designed to be like a utility token. It's not designed to be an equity token. It's a new foundational cryptocurrency. So if you look at some of the problems that some of the different groups have had, or communities have had with their tokens and infighting among developers and so forth. So Metronome is intended to be money, but it's supposed to be money that's built to last. So for example, you'll be able to have a Metronome today, and then if you have it on the Ethereum blockchain, for example, you'll be able to then port it over to another blockchain like Ethereum Classic and so forth. So it's not meant to be tied necessarily to one blockchain in particular. So that's some of the features. Also, the governance is baked in. Once it's launched to the wild, so to speak, nobody can change it. So there's no reason for anyone to fight anymore. So.
So you think maybe Metronome might take over the whole crypto world?
Well, I don't think it's intended to, and I don't actually believe there's going to be just one winner in cryptocurrencies. But it's really meant to have a lot of utility and do things that others don't. So, for example, we think we believe it'll be a great store of value for the long term. So it's great, built for institutional investors and built to last.
And I know you've been involved in the domain for a long time, and it must be amazing for you to see all this jumping of the chasm with all these ordinary people interested in investing in crypto and even interested in the blockchain. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's really interesting when I'm having physical therapy recently. I had a shoulder operation, feeling great, by the way. But when I hear the physical therapists around there talking to each other about this coin or that coin and Bitcoin and should I get into Ethereum, I'm like, oh wow, we've really, the world has changed. I remember the days that you'd say Bitcoin and people say, what's that? So those days are over. So we don't have to explain that anymore. But I think it's really the world waking up. They're waking up to a new way where they can control their money, where they don't have to be reliant on banks, where they can send value across the internet at their will without being censored.
And how do you feel about the ICOs? Because that seems to be a real booming area. And I was told near the end of last year that some startups are not even blockchain startups and they're doing ICOs. And I thought you had to be a blockchain startup. So I was like, oh my God, like it's sort of gone over the top. What do you think?
Yeah, we see a lot of projects that they blockchainify, as we say it. They blockchainify a project that wasn't really, from the ground up intended to be a blockchain. Yeah. I think a lot of those are money grabs, honestly. There are some good pivots that make sense into an ICO, but I think we're going to see some of these come out and change the world. I think a lot of them end up going back to zero, sort of like a venture capitalist invests into 10 companies and one of them may do well. Yeah. So I think it's going to be the same with the ICOs. But the ones that I think have a lot of promise are things like Academy Token, which is something very much needed in the space. This is one that's built for education, and the idea is to educate new developers into blockchain technologies. So yeah, it's a really interesting one, and so that's one that any developer or anybody who wants to get into, learn how to build blockchain solutions and smart contracts. There's curriculum for both the developers who are already experienced, brand new developers that don't even know how to develop yet, and then for executives that just want to understand what this means to their business.
Very cool. We've even got a blockchain developer engineer who's giving AMA sessions now, and it's not actually code, but it's explaining how it all works, and we're seeing a lot of interest in that.
Right. No, that's really great. I mean, another problem that we have with these ICOs is a lot of times there's no liquidity to the tokens. So a new project that I'm very excited about and I'm advising on is called AUX Token, AUX. And the idea here is it's now a decentralized auction where you can take your digital assets and put them up for auction on a decentralized network. So, and it's, provably fair. It's, Yeah, it's transparent and then enforceable by a smart contract. So it's a really exciting project.
So, bye-bye Craigslist.
Yeah, and I'm especially fond of this one because it's my nephew's project. Yeah, Kevin Beauregard, who is our.
Friends in the family. I met Kevin years ago.
Did you? Yeah, he was our
In San
technical
Francisco.
co-founder.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right. Yeah.
That's how I knew him.
Yeah, at the
Oh, that's
launch event, I think it was.
Yes, it was launch.
Yeah.
Look, so great to see you again, and I'm so pleased and good luck with the Metronome launch. I'd love to hear more about it down the line. Hopefully next time you visit, you can tell us what success it was. And I'm looking forward to the panel.
Sounds great. Thank you much.